Hello everyone, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with another reading for you. So this particular one focusing on your divine connection, what you need to know at this time. So whenever you are guided to tune in and watch this, hopefully there's something in the message that makes sense for you and helps you out. This will be focusing on those of you who are in separation, either in no contact or, maybe it's been a while since you've heard from this person. So let's go ahead and get into the messages and see what comes through. Hello, Gemini. How are you guys? So let's get into some messages for you, focusing on your divine connection. And maybe there's a reason why you've been guided to this reading. All right, so I'll be starting off with my scenarios deck. This particular one, if you're not familiar with my readings, it has upright and reversed interpretations, just like a tarot deck. So it can bring up quite a few scenarios. So let's see. For Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. This is focusing on current energies, Gemini. All right, so we're starting off with the Maid. So it is in the upright. It does say people pleaser. Cleans up the mess at their partner's beck and call. So if that's something that relates to your situation, either your person is known to create messy situations in their life, in their love life, and they are always having to do damage control, or maybe that's something that perhaps you relate to for yourself. Okay, let's see. This is also coming through. We have the text. So we are focusing on those of you who are apart right now. You might receive communication from this individual that you're focused on for this reading. So it does say, I love you. I'm sorry I hurt you. Please forgive me. I want to try again. Let's not give up on us. So it could come in the form of a text. It could be a phone call. It could be your person reaching out maybe on social media. For some of you guys, you might get a surprise visit, something unexpected. All right, let's see what else. So it could be this person who really wants to clean up the mess that they created. All right, let's grab another for Gemini and your divine connection. The current energies is that they're thinking perhaps of reaching out to you. All right, we've got the Masquerade. So part of the reason perhaps for the breakup, the no contact, the separation, is that they were not being real with you. They were keeping things from you. They could have been untrustworthy, as it says, promiscuous. They were maybe pretending to be something that they weren't. We do see the mask right there. And maybe that is something, again, that you relate to. Maybe you already know this about this person. But it could also be the other way around, perhaps, Gemini, where you were keeping something from this person, and that could have created the detachment. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify with tarot. Let me go ahead and set these guys aside, and let's take a look. All right, so this is still focusing on current energies. So part of the reason, perhaps, why they would want to apologize is because they hurt you, knowing that they broke your heart. They weren't focused, specifically just on the relationship. There were other people in the picture. All right, let's see what else. What do we need to know? Okay, so now we're focusing on tarot. Well, we're starting off with the Three of Cups here. So there seems to be an indication of a potential third-party reference. This could be maybe a friendship that turned romantic. Maybe that's how you connected with this individual initially. You could have been introduced to this person by another friend of yours. So that seems to be coming through here. What else for Gemini here? So possible third-party situation. And that is clarified by the Three of Swords. Look at how that's coming through, guys. So it's not everybody's story, but it is presenting itself here that there is the possibility that there was a love triangle And when things fell apart, it could have resulted in a tower moment. So this was hurtful. And maybe you both ended up getting hurt as well as other people. Somebody could have been married or already in an existing partnership. So this involvement could have really created a very chaotic, complicated situation. And look at the next card here, guys. We've got the Two of Cups. So I can't help but feel that somebody could have been in a marriage already, but you guys connected with this person. And again, it could have been a friendship that turned into something more. Could have started off as a physical connection, honestly. But I'm also getting perhaps that you might have started to really have some real feelings for this individual. You know, maybe it could have been a friends with benefits type situation. I'm kind of getting the message somebody didn't intend to cross the line. So that was not the intention going into that friendship. You know, maybe the attraction was there right from the very beginning, but that wasn't really the intention. You know, it's not like you guys got together and like, okay, we're going to cheat on whoever. You know, we're going to create something complicated in a third party situation. I'm not getting that, but it could have turned into that type of scenario, unfortunately. We do have the Three of Pentacles, so we have a lot of references to the threes, okay? I'm not super well versed on numerology, guys, so you might want to look up what 333 means. In angel numbers, it could be quite uplifting, actually, to be able to heal from a very painful situation. And for those of you that might have experienced either a marriage or a relationship that went into separation because of infidelity and trust issues, so this could be telling us that if you guys are on the same page as far as willing to fix things and, you know, kind of rebuilding what was torn down, then maybe this has a chance, you know, to repair itself. We've got the Star, okay. And that's followed by the Magician. So we have Aquarius, we have Gemini referenced by the Magician, as well as Virgo. That could be referencing some of the signs for some of you. I'm ultimately getting here, Gemini, whoever it is that you're thinking about, they think of you often. They still hope that somehow, some way, that you guys can reconnect. But I'm also feeling that it can only be under the circumstance of the both of you being free to pursue that, not really wanting to create any more drama because it was so hurtful, you know. So that, I feel, is what this person is really wanting to manifest. If they were taken, if they were married in another relationship, or you could have been, or you both could have been, you know, this could be an indication that maybe you guys are just both in a better position to come together because you're now both free to be able to pursue the relationship without any drama, without any tower moments and third-party situations. That's what I'm getting. That's a part of the current energy that's coming through. Okay, so let me go ahead and set these guys aside. I wanted to go ahead and grab some verbiage, some words that needed to come through here. So these could be words that your person wants to say to you, Gemini, but it could also be how you're feeling and what you want to say to them. Okay, so let's see. What are the words for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus? What does this conversation look like if they could say this to you, or you to them? Who needs to speak up here? Look at this. We always had so much fun together. The laughter, our friendship. You see how it mentions the friendship? You guys really got along great. The way we loved each other. So that love could have been more like a friendship type affection and love, but I can't help but feel that it turned into something more than that. And it says it was very special to me. Maybe, just maybe, we can try once more. So if you're open to that, Gemini, this person is really wanting to re-explore the relationship. All right, let's see. What else? What else for Gemini? Let's grab some additional words here. Roses are red, violets are blue. You know you still love me, and I still love you. And if that is the case, this is a separation that has not been easy to overcome. You know, maybe one of you is feeling more like you're stuck in the past. You can't seem to get over this breakup and separation. Bottom of the deck, guys, this is what's coming through. I still want you. Do you still want me? And of course, you're the only person that can answer that. But that's what's coming through here. These are the words that need to be conveyed for this reading and what they need you to know or what you need them to know. And it could be, you know, sending them, or you guys could be sending each other these telepathic messages. Maybe you're feeling it, which is why you're drawn to this reading, because you still feel like they think of you. They could be feeling the same thing, you know, that there's still love in their heart for you. Could be mutual. All right, guys, so let me go ahead and grab one last set of tarot cards to go along with this. And I'm using my volume 1 and 2 of my tarot decks, the Illuminated Star. So if there are similar cards that come through, duplicates, we'll see that. All right, what else? What else do we need to know here, please? Okay. So we see the Seven of Pentacles. More time is needed to see where this is going to go. You know, just the fact that if you came to this reading to get some sort of clarification that they're thinking of you, that certainly is coming through in this reading. And I feel whoever created the tower or the drama or needs to be forgiven based off of these past experiences, I feel what they're trying to tell you here through this reading is that they know how much effort they need to put in to be able to even convince you that this is worth a second chance. But it's going to take time. So this is one of those things where it requires patience in order to kind of give you the full clarity that you're looking for. We do have the Ace of Pentacles, okay? And we also have the Fool. So this to me is an indication from this person that they really do want a fresh start here. You know, they certainly feel that this connection is worth a second chance. And with the Ace of Pentacles right in the middle, you know, again, it's a card of manifestation. And we already see that type of vibe with the Magician. They want to be able to rekindle this relationship. And what they're trying to tell you through this reading, you know, especially if they feel like they blew it before, that they just didn't give their all, that they were promiscuous, that they weren't ready to settle down, that they just wanted to play, whatever their intentions were. I feel there's been a shift in that vibe, that intention, that energy, that they mean business this time, that they don't want to end up hurting you again. And they know what it takes to be able to win you back. And at the end of the day, if you're on board with that, maybe for some of you, this has the possibility of working itself out, you know, but it really comes down to you wanting it as much as they do. And I do feel that there will be communication that's on its way to you. It could happen maybe before the end of this year, but I'm also feeling January, February-ish, you know, so maybe Aquarius, Pisces season even. Okay, so hopefully that gives you something that you really needed to hear at this point when it comes to your person. I feel they really still love you. You know, nobody's perfect. They've made mistakes. And if you're willing to forgive, if you are willing to hear them out, then perhaps you guys can really sit down and just lay those cards out on the table, you know, in a sense, and talk about things. And if you find that you are in agreement of wanting to reconcile and rekindle the relationship, then I'm just feeling here that this wish that you might have, or this wish that they have, has the potential to manifest in the 3D. All right, guys, that is what I have. If you're interested in getting your own reading, that info is down below in the description box. And of course, I will link the decks that are featured here in this video. And just a reminder, guys, we are now doing live streams every Wednesday and Sunday here on my YouTube platform, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you are in need of guidance and, have a question that you need answered, it does not have to be solely on your love life. It could be about anything, finances, career, friendships, whatever. I'd be happy to do a mini reading for you when we are live. All right, guys. So again, Wednesday and Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'd love to see you there. All right, guys, so that's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.